You're looking at a table in one of the Italian police offices next to the border with Switzerland. Carabinieri of the Italian police seized these documents from two Japanese 50-year-old guys who were in their 50s. They were trying to get to Switzerland with them. And these documents their combined value is $134.5 billion. That's quite a lot of money. They're government treasury bonds, or I don't know how you call them, but they're documents that can be worth up to 1 billion each. And they're usually traded or exchanged between governments. These guys were moving them from Italy to Switzerland. And there's many theories and thoughts about it. First of all, one of them is that it was actually an official government, Italian government inspired move, and that, well, these Carabinieri, they didn't know about it, so they just arrested these guys and exposed the fact that these type of monies are transferred. It's 1/4 of the Japanese foreign or US denominated reserves. It's quite a lot of money. Then there's two main thoughts about it going around. One of them is that these bonds are actually counterfeit, but that it's unlikely that they're counterfeit because their denominations are so big and the market for them is really small. But they're in Asia, especially in Asia, there's lots of worries about counterfeit bonds and derivatives. And Jim Willie is one of the people that talked and said about it, and said that there's a huge amount of counterfeit mortgage derivatives in the system. And Max Kaiser also talked about a big counterfeiting scheme. So you have mortgage derivatives that have mortgages that are not based on actual real estate, that doesn't exist. That's one of the things that come to mind when people see this. Another one, and I think a more important one, is that this is Japan trying to move their assets to a country that will not be involved in any future war. Switzerland is traditionally being the neutral country. And I don't think it's a fair position anymore these days, because of course these days if you have a war, it's very easy to destroy Switzerland. It's very easy to throw a rocket on that country. You know, there might be lots of mountains that were hard to cross before with all kinds of soldiers and etc. But you can permanently incinerate that country very easily these days. No country is safe. I also think that if I were a superpower and if this means that Japan knows about preparations for war, or is kind of hedging their bets and trying to keep safe, then one of my primary targets would be Switzerland and the administrative system of the banks, because there is no big war that has been fought without the assistance of banks. So if you want to prevent war, then you have to make sure that nobody has the money to fight it. And there's an image that comes to mind is that the world is a big poker table, and I don't know how you have 4 players with poker usually, and in the middle there's lots of money that they play for, and all that money is in Switzerland. So Switzerland, let's say, is the middle of the poker table. And it's a very nice position to be in, because there's nice people there, and there's very stand-up culture, and they are very honest and sincere, and they just keep track on the money in the middle of the table, and they allow the people to play poker. But if the poker game is destroying the people around the table, then it would be wiser to have a big hole in the middle of the table and make all the money disappear there. So whenever someone gets to be aggressive and tries to start a fight, then the money disappears, and he's left without a means to fight. That would be much better. Anyway, you haven't seen this, I don't think you have seen this in the mainstream media yet. It's a big, of course, huge find of a huge amount of money. It's a little bit being treated like the trillions of dollars that disappeared in the Pentagon and in Iraq. And so I definitely hope that there will be more reports like this, because it does show you a little bit where people put their interests and their assets, and that means that shows more of what they're thinking about than the news that you get on the television.